everyone, welcome back to Thrift Witch. Today I have another haul of items that I picked up recently at a trip to a thrift store, and I'm going to share those with you. There's quite a bit here on the table, so let's get started and go through everything. The first thing I have is this adorable little figurine, No One's Perfect, with the upside down owl and his two friends. Owl stuff's pretty fun. This is made in Taiwan, so not crazy old, but it's got a little bit of vintaginess to it. Just a cute little collectible. For you clown lovers out there, got this really scary clown bank. Clowns are just not easy to look at, but they're collectible. There are people who love clowns, or maybe all these people are buying all the clown merchandise and, you know, burning it. Hard to say. It's probably what I would do with it. This clown bank has these kind of cool ears made out of yarn. Very, very Princess Leia style. Look to them. It's the fluff. Start pulling on it, never stops. He's in good shape, and I believe he is marked Gift Craft. Yes, he is. Gift Craft Taiwan. I'm going to set him on the floor so we don't have to look at him anymore. Next up is a pair of very mid-century looking swans. They're black, ceramic. Unfortunately, this guy's had his neck repaired. Boo. If I had seen that, I would not have picked them up. So they'll probably resell for about what I paid for them. But they're still pretty. Clearly the break's not that easy to see because I didn't see it when I picked them up. So I hate that. I always try to be so careful, and then I get things home and go, oh yeah, that's been repaired. So it's difficult when you're in the middle of the store and you don't want to like be in the way, to slow down and actually like take a really close look at things sometimes. So lesson learned. I still think they're quite attractive. Next up is a mushroom. That's right, this is a mushroom. The terms I've heard for these are shelf mushrooms or conch mushrooms. They are literally mushrooms that have been pulled off of a local tree. Hopefully, these do usually prefer to grow on dead trees or deadfall. So hopefully no one harvested this off of a live tree or didn't harm the tree that they harvested it from. And I have seen lots of people do what someone has done right here, which is they've scratched or drawn a loon on the mushroom. So it's not like the world's best loon, but you know, probably a better effort than I could do. So I just thought it's a kind of a neat little piece of folk art, maybe something to, you know, buy for your cottage, or that kind of folk arty feel. Next is a vintage wall art piece. I think it is hammered copper, framed, and it is a little girl. She kind of looks to me to be a Dutch girl maybe, and she's leaning on what looks to be like a fence, or I guess it's like a fence, because in front of her it looks like there are boats, and she's accompanied by a couple little puppies and a pod. So really got some nice mid-century feels with the stained wood and the hammered copper. Oh, it's feeding time. Can you tell? Everyone's gonna run upstairs. Oh Lord. Next up, a 1995 Dilbert mug. Let's follow along. I've decided to be a more of a hands-on manager. Move the mouse up, over, more, now, click it. No, you fool. This has long day written all over it. Oh, Dilbert. It's in really nice condition. It is collectible, so I picked that up. Next up, something that's not actually super old, but collectible. Some Care Bear plastic cutlery, forks and spoons, and some strawberry shortcake forks and spoons. Heavy duty plastic cutlery that's reusable. They're pretty new, but people who collect I'm sure these would be something they might want to pick up. They were very inexpensive. Next is this really lovely hand-painted trivet, porcelain trivet, with these really nice renditions of pansies. It is signed. The artist has signed it here. It's not marked as a piece of pottery itself, but yeah, I just thought this is really pretty, lovely colors, and in very nice condition. I think this little guy here, this little puppy, I think is a hobbyist piece. Maybe. He doesn't have any markings, but he's very light ceramic. Very much like something that you would buy to paint. But if that is the case, they did a really nice job. And he's cute. He's a good boy. He just wants attention. Next is another piece, I guess I would call this folk art. I'm having a little trouble figuring out exactly what it is or what its intention is, other than just as a decorative piece. So it is made from like wallboard or what's the right term, paneling, and it does show a deer or an elk carved out, and it stands on this quite well carved stand. So I don't think it's off of anything. I do think originally the front piece was a little bit longer. You can see there's kind of a shadow here on the wood, but it doesn't really take away from it that it seems to be missing a little bit of that detail. Next, this little piece of china. So this is Royal Grafton fine bone china, made in England. The reason that I picked up this little sugar bowl is, one, it has a really Art Deco-y style. You can see that from the details of the design. And the second reason is that it is a Canadian decoration. So the Argus was a plane flown out of RCAF Greenwood, Nova Scotia. So I thought this might be an interesting piece for people who like militaria. So yeah, unfortunately just the sugar, didn't have the creamer. I've only seen a couple other pieces of this pattern online. They're quite rare. Doesn't mean they're worth a whole bunch, just means they're hard to find. A vintage green glass ashtray. As I have said before in my videos, if you are looking for a weapon, look to your ashtray. This sucker weighs pounds. Yeah, it's a wonder more people weren't bludgeoned in the big smoking era. Maybe they were. A couple little pieces here. This is a 1981 Enesco Garfield shaker. Unfortunately, he does not have his mate, but he's still pretty cute. Gotta love Garfield. He is waiting for his lasagna. A little Red Riding Hood figurine. A little made in Italy cream pitcher. I think it's a cream pitcher, even though it's a lemon. I just thought it's really nicely, brightly decorated. Marks made in Italy. Here is a complete Busilla needlework kit. Everything is there. I opened it to make sure. The original price on this was, I don't know if you can see that, it's $55. This kit is actually still quite desirable. It's called, I think, Heirloom Rose. So definitely, if you see these in the thrift store, definitely check them out and kind of run the comparable to see if it's a desirable pattern, because they can be worth quite good money. It's not worth the $55 the person originally paid for it, but it's certainly worth picking up because you can still make some good money on these. Next up is a little Tomcat. That is his actual name, Tomcat. Tomcat, hand painted, little, he's got business cat written all over him. Little trinket dish. It's been repaired. I still thought it was cute. I think it's been repaired, or it's not yet fallen, it's damaged, and but I think it's probably actually been repaired. It's hard to tell sometimes if something's been glued or if it's just chipped. Did I talk about the panther? So there's, you know, there's some pretty iconic, like designy things for mid-century. One of them is definitely these panthers. My grandma had several. This one is actually a planter, or at least you could put something in it if you wanted. I guess now the rage would be to put air plants in them. He does have a crack on his tail, and so there were some pretty significant paint chips here that someone's colored in with a bit of black marker. Honestly, I'm okay with the marker because the stark white porcelain would be really distracting. So he, you know, he's not in perfect condition because of that, but he's not broken. So I thought he was still worth picking up because he's still pretty cute, and he will display nicely, especially from this side. Here we have a pair of Hobbyist Piece 1970s Christmas candlesticks. It actually literally says on the bottom, Xmas like 76. I just thought they were cool, over the top, would look fun in someone's Christmas decor. Here is a vintage acrylic napkin holder. This one has dried flowers and pansy inside of it. It has yellowed a bit with age, but still, if you're into the whole like kitschy 70s, 60s, 70s aesthetic, that lucite or acrylic napkin holder is for you. Next is a little miniature oil lamp with a bear, and it's in actually really nice condition. The original shade, the original burner, it is marked Japan on the bottom, so he's really cute, little black bear. Next is a bit of a mystery piece. So when I first picked this up, I thought, oh, this is probably a piece of Mexican pottery touristy wear. And that could still be what it is. However, when I started to look at it, you know, it's redware, and it has like slip glaze decoration. So these colors, this yellow, I have honestly no idea if this is just a cheap piece of tourist wear or if this might actually be like an older piece of pottery. So I'm going to hang on to it and do a bit of research and maybe see if I can get some opinions on it. Sometimes, like when you see something, you just kind of go, that might be something, and I shouldn't rush to sell it for $5 more than I paid for it. Maybe I should hang on to it and wait and see if I can figure out what it is. So that's the plan right now, is to hang on to this piece and see if we can figure out exactly what it is. Because like on one hand, to me it reads, like I said, like Mexican pottery. Then I thought it sort of read as like faience because of the decoration and the colors with the yellow. And it does have quite, I don't know if you can see, it does have quite a bit of crazing, which can be faked, but also can indicate good age. So mystery piece. So we'll just hang on to that and maybe try to find out a bit more about it. I think I've talked about everything here on the table. A couple other things I picked up, not really to my taste, but these kitschy wooden Christmas wreaths. So this one has gingerbread man and holly on it. And this one has bells and holly in green. You could hang them up for outdoor decoration. I think they're very 80s, 90s, so I picked those up. And then last is something that's sitting on the couch next to me because I haven't actually taken the time to go through it and price it. It is 12 pieces of geisha ware. I don't often pick up geisha ware because it's usually way overpriced by the piece. However, in this instance, all of these pieces were for one price and under $10. So I picked them up. So, oh look, there's an original price here. Someone wanted $2? $2 for this cup? You see that? I think. Yeah, $2. Anyway, there's one of these. I would say that's like a cocoa or a chocolate pot cup from the shape, not necessarily a teacup. 2 teacups or coffee cups. 3 saucers for teacups. a slightly larger, I guess, like dessert plate. And then a couple sandwich plates. And the painting's fairly well done. Usually if they get the splotches of paint somewhere inside the body, that's a pretty good job in these, for these. It does have a mark, Japan. And then a teapot. So the teapot is missing its original lid. It does have the original strainer. Someone has married up a lid to this that fits but isn't actually correct. Has some of the same colors. So even though I knew it was wrong, the wrong lid rather, like I still just took it because it does sit on top of the teapot. No harm, no foul. I can sell it without. So yeah, all those 12 pieces for less than $10 was a pretty good buy. There are people who collect geisha ware out there, so you know, I picked them up. Worst case, takes a while to sell them. So I think that's everything for this haul. Forgive the shaky camera work. It's a little late where I am. It's so late the kitties have taken off. So I guess I'll just say thanks again for watching the channel. If you have any questions, drop a comment. If there's anything here you're interested in, let us know, and we'll see if we can get it to you. Say goodnight, Garfield. Good night, Garfield.